The area we call home is about to change forever, and the question is, will it be for the better or the worse? Amazon's decision to locate half of its new HQ2 in Arlington County will not only transform the look and feel of Northern Virginia, it is sure to send ripple effects throughout the entire region. And we believe for something as important as that, you need to know a whole lot more. All this week, WUSA 9 will be reporting on what could go right and wrong once Amazon opens for business. We begin with WUSA 9 investigative reporter Eric Flack. He made the cross-country trip to Seattle, Washington to examine the impact Amazon's first headquarters had there. And as Eric found out, the Amazon effect isn't always a good one.
You know, growing up in D.C., Crystal City or Pentagon City, it was never really a destination location unless you were going to the mall. But now all this is going to be National Landing, as Amazon likes to call it. Future home to 25,000 high-paying jobs, more than $2 billion in new construction. So everybody should be excited, right? But now concerns over everything from an increase in traffic to a decrease in affordable housing have many around here worried about the Amazon effect.
I wanted to know why, so we flew from Washington, D.C. to Seattle, Washington, a nearly 3,000-mile trip to see the impact of Amazon's first headquarters up close and what it could mean for all of us.
The question of whether Amazon has been good for Seattle is a complicated one. The answer often depending on who you ask.
That is a very difficult question.
I don't know why the blame is going on Amazon.
I would say it is a very mixed review.
They're a great company.
You can locate jobs in the center of your city. That's a good thing.
People, Amazon has not been good for Seattle.
Artist and Seattle native Inye Wakoma says that while the surge in jobs from 5,000 Seattle-based employees in 2010 to over 40,000 today is a good thing for the economy, Amazon has, in the process, gobbled up property and space, leaving little affordable housing and driving up home prices and rent.
Just about everybody that I've known and grown up with, including 90+% of my family members, have had to leave the neighborhood, right? And I'm only here because I'm extremely stubborn.
So will we experience that same housing squeeze, Amazon moving in, forcing middle and low income families out? For that answer, we head back to Northern Virginia, where WUSA 9's own investigations have uncovered a growing affordable housing crisis even before HQ2 opens for business.
Do you worry that what happened in Seattle is going to happen here?
Definitely.
Danny Sendejas is so worried about it, he helped form a group called For Us Not Amazon that is now pushing local leaders to take back some of the tax breaks promised to the company, all for the purpose of building more affordable housing, even though Virginia's HQ2 plan already includes $225 million for just that reason.
And so how can we expect any guarantees that our families will be protected when we have the looming threat of a huge corporation like Amazon?
Frustration boiling over at a recent meeting with Arlington leaders.
You spent 45 minutes talking to us, and we came here to ask you if you're going to vote no on these incentives.
We're going to recognize this person here, please.
Those fears aren't founded?
Well, those fears are founded from their perspective.
Victor Hoskins, director of Arlington Economic Development, is one of the people who helped lure Amazon to Arlington.
People say, but look at what happened in Seattle. I try to help them understand scale.
Hoskins said the Washington, D.C. area is about twice as big as Seattle in both population and workforce, lessening the impact of Amazon's presence.
So you think this is going to be a ripple, not a tidal wave?
Absolutely.
Hoskins said if housing problems do arise, Arlington is ready to react. Maybe he'll think of the solutions sitting in all that extra traffic that's going to come with Amazon moving in. For more on that, let's head back to Seattle. You see, Seattleites say traffic is another big problem they blame on Amazon.
People that are living 30, 40 miles away, they're spending 2 hours in their cars at nighttime.
It's caused a lot of traffic problems here in Seattle.
Traffic is excruciating.
So we strapped a GoPro to our hood to see just how bad it was. It took us an excruciating 35 minutes to go 3 miles at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. In fact, Seattle is consistently ranked among the top 10 worst cities to drive in, alongside, you guessed it, Washington, D.C. But a group that has studied the issue told us Seattle's traffic problems are more from a lack of planning than anything else, and should be lessened in Northern Virginia by better public transportation and roads. So what does Amazon have to say about all this? While I was in Seattle, I made sure to ask the company directly.
Everybody is totally entitled to think what they want to think about Amazon's effect on Seattle, on our growth. What I think is really important and what I think is really impressive is the jobs and economic opportunities we've created in the city of Seattle.
Absolutely.
That opportunity completely unexpected by Monty Holmes. The owner of a decades-old family-run Seattle trophy business, he is a David to the Amazon Goliath. And no one, not even Monty, expected his business to thrive like it has when Amazon moved into his Seattle neighborhood. But Monty's sales, property values, and reputation have all flourished.
That's kind of why everybody loves us. They come by and say, hey, we love that you're here. You know, it makes you feel good.
Makes you feel emotional?
Yeah, you bet. We're hanging in here. So we've got a piece of the rock.
The question now, what will Amazon deliver to Northern Virginia?
Now, for people worried about a congestion or housing crunch, keep in mind every job Amazon brings to Northern Virginia is expected to create an indirect job as well, like in the service or the retail industries. That means 25,000 new jobs can turn into 50,000 people flooding in real quick. Eric will explain why some of those jobs might not pay quite as much as we thought tomorrow night at 11. We'll also dive deeper into the housing and traffic problems later in the week. And right now on WUSA9.com, hear more about Amazon's effect on Seattle in the words of the people who have lived through it.